It was revealed a couple of days ago that Governor Blagojevich was going to do some press in New York City. Alisyn Camerota got on the phone and started calling, got an exclusive interview with the governor that starts right now.
Thanks so much, guys, and thank you for letting me come on your show and take time to do this. We want to welcome Illinois Governor Blagojevich to Fox and Friends. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We have a new development this morning, and that is that there is apparently, we're told, a deal on the table right now from the Illinois General Assembly that if you resign today, you will get a severance package, which you would not get if you are impeached. Is there a deal on the table?
I've heard of no such thing. I'm not interested in resigning. I've done nothing wrong. I am eager to participate in an impeachment trial, but I would like a simple fundamental right, and that is the right to bring witnesses, the right to be able to have all of the different tapes of those discussions heard in the process, a chance to be able to show I did nothing wrong.
So you would not accept a deal if it were offered to you today?
I'm not interested in resigning. I'm fighting for fundamental principles, which is the right of governors elected twice by the people, if they're going to be impeached, to be able to bring witnesses, confront and challenge evidence, and have a process that doesn't remove a governor twice elected by the people without even requiring those who are throwing me out to prove up their case.
And as far as you know, there is no deal.
Again, I make it very clear I'm not interested in resigning. I've said consistently.
Have they offered you a deal?
I've said consistently I'm not going to resign. I've done nothing wrong.
It sounds like they have offered you a deal, though you're not interested in it.
I'm taking a very determined approach to this process, and the process is very simple. I've done nothing wrong, and I'm eager to have a chance in an impeachment trial to prove that I've nothing wrong.
Okay, and here's your chance this morning to actually talk to the people of America about your side of this story. I know you've been on a bit of a media blitz, so we're hoping that you'll clarify some of the things that you've said on other programs. You dispute the charge that you tried to sell Barack Obama's Senate seat to the highest bidder. Let me pull up a quote that prosecutors say they've caught you on tape saying. It says, "I'm going to keep this Senate seat option for me a real possibility, you know, and therefore I can drive a hard bargain. The Senate seat is a blanking, valuable thing. You don't just give it away for nothing." Are these your words?
I haven't heard the tapes, but
did you say them?
Well, I don't know. There were hours and hours of conversations. Let me say this.
Does it sound like something you might have said?
Let me say this. If that was said, that's subject to many interpretations. That could mean I want them to help us pass health care. I want them to help us pass a jobs bill. I want them to help us hold the line on taxes.
That's what you would mean by a hard bargain.
Again, I haven't heard the tapes. That's one of the fundamental things that's so wrong with this process. We'd like to be able to hear them. I invite the Senate to have every one of those tapes heard in a process so we can have a chance to have the full story told.
But it sounds like what you're saying is that these might be your words. If you hear the tapes, you might recognize your voice, and perhaps you did say this.
Let me say again, I'm not going to comment on something that I haven't heard, but I will say that through the whole context of conversations that I had that were being wiretapped secretly, when the full story is told, the full story shows an effort by a governor to make a decision that was right for the people of Illinois.
Will you at least concede that if those are your words, if you are caught on tape saying that it sounds crooked?
Well, let me say this. I mean, there's all kinds of things people say that are taken out of context, not in a full context, that can be twisted and sound not so good. I'm not the only person who talks and might say things like that, and I'm not acknowledging that that's in fact what I said. But again, it is fundamentally wrong and unfair to take little pieces of conversations and not tell the whole story.
But the fact is that no one listening out there right now will ever be able to listen to the thousands of tapes that prosecutors say they've caught you on. All they'll ever hear are excerpts. So this is your chance to put those to rest right now. Let me read another one for you. The alleged Senate seat sale is, as you know, just the tip of the iceberg. I have the 76-page affidavit here, which is filled with various pay-to-play scheme allegations. In it, they say that you were angry with the editorial writers from the Chicago Tribune because they said nasty or negative things about you, and so you wanted them fired. In exchange, you would give the owner of the Tribune financial assistance to sell Wrigley Field. You say, our recommendation is fire all those blanking people, get them the blank out of there, and get us some editorial support. Everything is lined up, meaning, I guess, the money. But before we go to the next level, we need to have a discussion about what you guys are going to do about that newspaper. Did you say that?
Again, I haven't heard the tapes. I haven't had a chance.
But do you remember saying this?
Let me explain that particular issue. Again, what you just described is completely out of context. I pushed very hard to help the Tribune Company and the Chicago Cubs get a deal with the Illinois Finance Authority to keep Wrigley Field a place where the Cubs play for 30 years. It was my effort to get that done. I was committed to it, and there was nothing that ever took me away from making sure that that happened, because at Wrigley Field, first and foremost, as a Cubs fan, is a special place. Secondly, it's the third largest tourist attraction in Illinois.
But did you want the editorial writers from the Chicago Tribune fired before you offered any financial assistance?
I will say that a representative from the Tribune was stated publicly in the press that no one ever approached him and pressured him or suggested anything along those lines.
Governor, let me read some names of people that I know that you're familiar with. Tony Rezko, one of your biggest fundraisers and your friend. Now his name is synonymous for kickback schemes. He's now a convicted felon. Chris Kelly, your close friend, the finance chair on your gubernatorial campaign, now a convicted felon on tax charges. John Harris, your chief of staff, arrested the same day as you for allegations of various pay-to-play schemes. There are others. At some point, aren't you judged by the company you keep?
Well, Tony Rezko is a friend of me and a friend of Barack Obama, as you know. Tony Rezko was a supporter of President Bush and a supporter of politicians in Illinois of both parties for a long, long time. Very unfortunate and sad about what's happened to him.
But so many people who were your fundraisers and in your inner circle are now the subjects of indictment or at least investigations.
Well, the other individual you talk about, Chris, his issues are personal. They have nothing to do with anything involving me or anything with regard to fundraising. Look, this is a tough business, and I'm not the only politician in America who is scrutinized. Our mayor in Chicago has been scrutinized. People close to him have had issues along these lines. This is, again, not just something that happens in Illinois. It's a rough and tumble business.
I'm curious also about the PR agent that you chose for this media blitz. His other most famous client is Drew Peterson, who, of course, is suspected of killing two of his wives. Is that an association that makes sense for you at this point?
It never even crossed my mind. Not something I knew until I read it.
You didn't know that he was Drew Peterson's
I didn't know it
agent.
until it was in the newspaper. And, you know, I'm a million miles away from that, and to somehow suggest that I have anything to do with that.
No, not that you had anything to do with it, just that you also could have chosen many other PR agents.
It was the PR decision was made by a lawyer on our team, and that fella is doing a great job. He got me on your show, didn't he?
That has been his high point.